The question now is whether that will cost the Afghan government control over the country. This isn't anything other than a way out for us that we can style as something less than losing the war, Mr. Crocker said. Any peace deal acceptable to the West and the Afghan government would mean recognizing the fundamentals of the Afghan constitution guaranteeing civil rights that conflict with the Taliban's interpretation of Sharia, especially where the rights of women are concerned. Scrapping that constitution would be regarded by many world leaders as a red line that could not be crossed. But the Taliban are unapologetically anti-democratic, believing in an outsized role for the mullahs in governance. Reconciling those two worldviews seems almost impossible. But somehow the shape of an eventual settlement requires just that. President Ghani did not criticize the American-led talks, as he had previously, but pointedly reminded everyone that Mr. Khalilzad's mission was to persuade the Taliban to sit down with the Afghan government. Mr. Khalilzad was expected to brief Mr. Ghani before announcing any deal. Nearly everything beyond the basic outlines of the agreement is still on the negotiating table, even the table itself. Will the Taliban sit down for face-to-face talks with the Afghan government? Will there be a residual force of American or other foreign troops to guard the American embassy or international facilities, for instance? And what sort of power-sharing arrangement could there be? Will the Taliban be able to field candidates in presidential, provincial and district elections scheduled for July of this year? Interviewed by CNN's Fareed Zakaria at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. As the talks went on, Mr. Ghani declined to describe Doha as a breakthrough and said that difficult negotiations lay ahead. Peace is an imperative. A war that has gone on for 17 years must come to an end, he said. The American peace envoy, Mr. Khalilzad, said he will build on the momentum and resume talks shortly, but did not specify when. That would most likely entail another round of talks between the Americans and the Taliban, until the insurgents change their position on talking to the Afghan government.